Imagine walking into class expecting a normal day, but instead, you step into absolute chaos. Papers flying, students crying, someone's trying to crawl out the window, and right there in the middle of it all is the reason for the madness. Mrs. Rathmore, the worst teacher ever. And trust me, that's not an exaggeration. Now, every school has that one teacher. But Mrs. Rathmore? She wasn't just bad. She looked like she had crawled out of a haunted textbook from 1842. Her face was permanently stuck in a scowl, like she had smelled something terrible, which, let's be real, was probably just the joy of children. Her eyes, tiny, beady, and full of disappointment. Her hair, a gray tangled mess that looked like a family of rats had moved in years ago and refused to leave. And her nose? Oh boy. It was so long and pointy we were convinced she could sniff out happiness and destroy it on sight. Her teaching style? If there was a rule book for good teaching, she chewed it up and spit it out, probably right into someone's notebook. Need help with a math problem? Figure it out, you useless turnip! Don't understand the instructions? Then you shouldn't be in school at all. She had exactly two moods, angry and even angrier. And tests? Her tests were legendary for being completely insane. You could study for weeks, memorize the entire textbook, and still fail. Question 1. What is 2 plus 2? Question 2. If I take away your happiness, how much do you have left? Answer, 0. Always 0. And the worst part? Her grading system made no sense. One time, Lily got an answer exactly right. Mrs. Rathmore marked it wrong. Why? Because, and I quote, "You got it right too confidently." Oh, but recess? Forget about it. Just when you thought you'd get a break, boom, pop quiz. We once had a surprise test during lunch. Imagine sitting there, peacefully eating your sandwich, and suddenly, spit it out, quiz time. That's the kind of villainy we were dealing with. Even the other teachers feared her. The principal avoided her classroom like it was a crime scene. And the class hamster? Yeah, we had one, for exactly 1 day. It mysteriously disappeared after Mrs. Rathmore saw it. We still don't know what happened, but we have theories. And then, one day, she was gone. Just like that. No warning, no farewell speech, just a new teacher standing there like, "Hi, I'm Mrs. Willow." And we all sat there in stunned silence, wondering if we had imagined the nightmare that was Mrs. Rathmore. To this day, no one knows where she went. Did she vanish into a cloud of chalk dust? Did she turn into a bat and fly away? Did she return to the underworld to grade the souls of the damned? We may never know. But what we do know is that school has never been the same since. And that, my friends, is the story of the worst teacher ever. If you've had a teacher like this, I feel your pain. If you haven't, consider yourself lucky.